So, good morning and welcome back to Daily Transfer Update. Today we are linked with three players. Let's start off with the first one, and that is Neto, the Brazilian goalkeeper from Valencia. We see him up close and personal only a few weeks ago when we played them twice over two legs in the Europa League semi-final. Now, as far as I'm aware and from the reports I have read, Valencia need to raise €42 million because of their financial restrictions and financial restraints. They need to raise that by the 30th of June. Neto is one option for them to sell out of the football club. He has an apparent release clause of €80 million, which for some reason all these Spanish clubs have stupidly high release clauses in there to try and fend off other teams. There's no way this guy is ever going to go for €80 million, but he is somebody that Arsenal are definitely looking at, and Unai Emery rates him massively. Now, obviously with Martinez probably leaving the football club, Petr retiring, we do need another goalkeeper and somebody to push Leno as well. Leno's been very good this season. I rate him. I think he's done reasonably well in his first season at Arsenal. Is he the answer going forward? That remains to be seen. I think he's got the potential to be our number one for a long time. But you guys let me know what you think. This guy Neto is under contract until 2021. 6 foot tall, so about the right sort of height for a goalkeeper. Some of them are a little bit taller, 6'6", 6'5", but 6'2" doesn't worry me at all. It's his second best season ever for clean sheets, and it was his most consistent season to date in the Spanish league. And he's actually had a very good season. He's played 47 games. He was on course to break his own clean sheet record in the La Liga this season. That didn't materialise in the end, so he fell just a millimetre short from breaking his own. His own record was 16. He finished on 14 this season. So all in all, not a bad season, not a fantastic season, but it was his most consistent season in terms of holding down a regular slot in the team. And he played pretty well. You know, even against us, I thought he'd done reasonably well. He made some great saves. Although at the Emirates, he did flap for Lacazette's header. He pushed that into the net. I felt he could have done better. But with that being said, Bernd Leno has done the same against Tottenham this season. Against Southampton, I thought he was poor. And we are going to need a number two. I think it's about time we actually went out there and had two decent goalkeepers. Petr for me has been finished for a long, long time. He is what he is. Listen, he's a very good goalkeeper, but his time's done. He knows his time's done, hence why he's leaving. As for Martinez, I don't think he's ever been good enough for Arsenal. That's just my opinion on it. This guy, I think he could step up. I think he could make the change to Arsenal. It's not going to cost €80 million. Let's not kid ourselves here. The reports going around are saying anywhere between 25 and 35 million, depending on whether you read a Spanish report or an English report. Personally, I could see this happen, but I'm not sure that we would pay £35 million for a number two, because I don't think he's better than Leno. But that's just my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think about Neto possibly coming in. On to the second player, and this is a player that really genuinely gets me off my seat and excites me. Rated him at Atletico Madrid, rated him at Monaco. He's now playing in the Chinese league for a team called Dalian Yifang, if I've pronounced that correctly. And that is Yannick Carrasco. He is still only 25 years old. It seems like he's been around forever. Always thought it was a weird one, him going over to China in the first place, especially being that young. Normally these players go over to China to get a massive payday towards the back end of their career. But I was having a look at some of his stats earlier, and his goal scoring record and his assists for a left forward, a left winger, are pretty relentless. For Atletico Madrid, 124 games, 23 goals, 17 assists. And bear in mind, he was still quite young then. For Monaco, 103 games, 20 goals, 24 assists. And all in all, for Dalian Yifang, 35 games, 14 goals, 10 assists. That is some pretty mad statistics for a left forward. He can play as a second striker. And let's be real, when he was at Atletico and Monaco, everyone was like, wow, this guy is going to be a superstar. He's going to go on to greatness. He's going to play for some of the biggest clubs in Europe. And he ends up in China. And like I said, it's just a weird one that he has gone out to China. He has actually come out and spoken about potentially leaving the club and moving back to Europe. He said maybe this summer it is possible. Maybe I will speak to the president. All that you want in your life is to be close to your friends and your family. Going back to Europe is a good situation for me to achieve that. He definitely wants out. He's not happy over in China. It's quite clear his friends and family are not there with him. If they are, it's not a regular thing. They're just there sporadically. They're not staying with him full time. We could do a lot worse. Listen, his output from that side of the pitch is a lot better than what we have there. We're playing Alex Iwobi there. And let's be real, I like Alex Iwobi. His stats ain't even on this level. And even if you take the stats away, he ain't even half the player of Yannick Carrasco. So I think Arsenal should go out and buy him. Whether we do go out and buy him is a completely different story. He's going to have every single club around Europe looking at him. Every single club, and I mean that genuinely. All the top clubs in Europe will be looking at him. I think that he would absolutely smash the Premier League to pieces. I think he's a top player. Still got plenty of years left in him as well. He could have another 4 or 5 years right at the top level. Maybe even more. Like I said, he is only 25 years old. But another one, let me know what you think. Would you be excited about Carrasco signing for Arsenal? The last player that we are linked with and going to look at today is Kostas Manolas. We have been linked with this guy quite a lot in the last couple of weeks, and there is genuine traction on this, in my opinion. His agent is Mino Raiola, the super agent. He is also Mkhitaryan's agent. I didn't know that until earlier on, this morning, if I'm being completely honest, about 2 hours ago. But yeah, I didn't know Mino Raiola was Mkhitaryan's agent. I genuinely didn't. That could have some sort of say in whether he comes to us, but who knows? Obviously, he's Pogba's agent. He could go to United. They need centre-backs as well. They are also linked with him. He has a £36 million buyout clause, which is so cheap. 27 years old, coming into the prime of his career, and that's the sort of age you want for a centre-back. Yes, it's great to have a Rob Holding, a young player there, but you need the experience. You need somebody who's been there and done it. This guy, let's not all forget here as well, this guy scored the goal that Roma knocked Barcelona out of the Champions League from being 4-1 down in the first leg. They beat them 3-0 over in Rome, and he scored the winning goal. He scored the third goal. The scenes after that were absolutely mental. But he's played overall for Roma. He has played 206 games, 8 goals, which isn't bad for a centre-back. He's got 7 assists as well, which is kind of high for a centre-back. Is Socrates' partner in crime for Greece as well, obviously a fellow international, and he is something we desperately need at Arsenal. I've rated him for a long time. I think that you could partner him and Socrates together. You've got a bit of everything. You've got a bit of a throwback to old school centre-backs. You've got a bit of, willing to put their bodies on the line and take a ball in the face if they have to. But not only that, they know when to be smart and to be cute and to time waste and run a game out and just pass it around. And I think both of them complement each other extremely well. I can genuinely see this one happening. But that is obviously down to Arsenal now. But them 3 players. If I was to say which one out of the 3 would sign, I'd say it'd be Manolas. Carrasco is going to be wanted by pretty much everybody, and Neto. I'm not quite sure that the money they're talking about we're going to spend on a goalkeeper when we've already spent £20 million on Leno, who in my opinion is better than him. But just coming back to Manolas very quickly. I think he'd be fantastic. I think he's perfect for the Premier League. And the fact that this season he's played a lot of games as well. He's played 35 games this season, which is a lot. It shows that he's not an injury-prone centre-back. But this league is a tougher league. This league is more intense. This league is quicker. It's more physical. Although saying that the physicality is a dying art now in this league. You can't barge players off the ball like you used to without the referee giving you a yellow card. But I think that this is somebody we should definitely be going for. It looks like we are. The traction on this story is building every day. So yeah, that's my transfer update for the day. Let me know what you guys think. Massive shout out to everyone subscribed to my channel so far. This channel has blown. And I also wanted to say, it's 6 months today that I started this channel. Wow. Thank you ever so much to every single one of you that has commented, liked, disliked, abused me in the comment section, subscribed to my channel, shared my content around. I can see all of that. I can see who shares it. Well, not who shares it, but I can see how many people share it. So thank you very, very much. And let's go on to the next 15,000. Until later on today when I come back with my live stream in the afternoon, I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.